Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am making good dog biscuits. So leave it to the British to have a recipe in their book for their pooch. So we're going to get started on that today. First thing, we have sweet potatoes. So we have one small to medium sweet potato. We'll measure it out later. Peeled, and I cut it into even chunks. I've already got it on my oven, on my stovetop, boiling. Well, it's getting to the boiling point. So we're just going to let that boil until it is tender. And then once that's done, I'm going to drain them and then mash them until they're smooth. So I just got to give them a few minutes to boil. Okay. My sweet potatoes are good and tender, so I'm just going to drain them out. Okay, and now what I've got to do is I've got to mash these. Use my masher. I don't know if this tool has a name. I'm sure it does. All right, got them all good and mashed. Now I just have to wait for those to cool before I can mix them in with my other ingredients. Okay, my sweet potatoes are all cooled down. I've already measured out 125 grams of the sweet potatoes so that we are ready to go. The leftovers, whatever you have left, you can just eat. I mean, mashed sweet potatoes, so go for that. It recommends you could like mix them into hummus or something, which, sweet, go for it. All right, now what we need to do is add some peanut butter. So I have 100 grams of, it says crunchy or smooth. I elected for crunchy. Now you do need to make sure that your peanut butter is good for your dog. Apparently there are some forms of peanut butter that have xylitol in them, if I'm saying that right. And that would be bad for your pup. So you can thank my, well, this book says it too, but my sister-in-law was the one that informed me on that. So I've got 100 grams of peanut butter. And then I've got one egg. I've lightly beaten an egg, so I'm going to get that in there as well. Okay, and I'm just going to mix that up a little bit, which I'm not going to lie, this looks really weird. Okay. Now we need to add dried cranberries and parsley. So I have 25 grams of dried cranberries, and I also have 1 teaspoon of dried parsley. Now, if you wanted to use fresh parsley, you can use 2 teaspoons of the fresh stuff. I just have the dried stuff. So 1 teaspoon for me. All right, we'll mix that up. Okay, and then we have flour and oats to add to this. I have 25 grams of, this recipe says porridge oats. It's the same thing as far as I'm aware as rolled oats or just oats. So 25 grams of that. And then we are using whole wheat or wholemeal flour today. Get my oats mixed in there. So I have 175 grams of wholemeal flour. And I'm going to mix, and I'm probably going to end up using my hands here because the flour is going to get all lumpy. All right, that came together a lot better than expected. Now I'm just going to lightly flour my work surface. So, and I'm going to roll these guys out because it wouldn't just be a simple pup treat. We need to make these cute, right? So I'm going to roll these out, and we're going to cut them into dog bones is what I've got today. I got to roll this out into 2 to 3 millimeters thick, which is really, that is quite narrow, quite thin. So it's like 1/8 of an inch or so. So we'll see if I get it that thin and still am able to get the cookies off or the biscuits off the counter. That looks about right. If I go much thinner than that, I'm not going to be able to cut it. All right, so I have my little dog bone shape, and I'm just going to get as many as I can and transfer them onto my tray back here. You could cut them, I guess, however you want. If you wanted to do, I don't know, maybe you could do little kitty cats. That'd be kind of funny to feed them to your dog. I have a cat. I don't have a dog. So I'm going to be gifting these to my sister-in-law and her pooch. Okay, so we've got about 8 there. Okay, there we go. We'll see how good my cookie cutter holds them together. All right. Okay, and now I just need to re-roll this and keep going until I run out of biscuit dough. I don't think I rolled this thin enough because I only got 8 on that one. I'm supposed to get to 25. So I might just have to bake these a little bit longer than what's suggested, but that's all right. And there went my oven. It is set to 340 degrees Fahrenheit today, which is 170 degrees Celsius. So we're ready to rock and roll there. So I just got to get these last couple cut out. Okay, yeah, I only got 14, so I'm 10 short on what you should get. So mine are definitely way thicker, but I don't know how well they would have held together if I'd rolled them any thinner. So we are going to put these in the oven for 15 minutes at that 340 degrees Fahrenheit, and it says until crisp and starting to turn pale brown around the edges. So there we go. Okay, it's been about 25 minutes, so 10 minutes longer than what it says. But again, my biscuits were quite a bit thicker, but I do think they're done. So let's get them out. All right. They did start to brown up a little bit on the edges. They're holding their shape. Okay. I am going to let them cool on there for a while before I put them in an airtight container. It does say that they should crisp up a little bit more as they sit and cool. So we'll go for there. Now, if some of you are waiting for me to taste test these, you would be incorrect in assuming I'm going to do so. I have a much more expert, in dog biscuits that is ready to taste these. So we are going to go take a visit to my good buddy, Benny.
Benny, hey. Stay.
All right, Benny, you gonna try the treat? Nummy.
It did look good. Look like a chocolate chip cookie.
This is good stuff, huh?
It's like more. Okay, so that's what Benny had to say about those cookies. I hope you enjoyed this bake. You know, if you have a dog and you wanted to make some homemade treats for him, go for it. Now you've got a recipe. That is the latest one from my book, The Great British Baking Show, Love to Bake. If you liked it, awesome, great. Give it a thumbs up. Benny says you should give it a thumbs up. And you should also subscribe to see some more bakes out of my channel. Go look at some of the other videos that I've got. There's lots of fun things to look at. And as always, I will see you next bake.